Hello everyone, welcome back to Shred Guitar in the 80s. Today's going to be a fun day. We're going to take a chord progression, build some lines on top, kind of a neoclassical fashion, come up with some sequences. And we're also going to look at the year 1988 in neoclassical metal, see what was happening with Shrapnel Records. So let's get started. So I was recently thumbing through an old Guitar World magazine from 1988, and I came upon this old ad from Shrapnel Records. And I was just blown away and amazed by how incredible these albums were and how influential for me and so many of us that played guitar during that era. It was just overwhelming. At the time, it was just mind-boggling. I would just rush out and buy anything with Shrapnel Records, sit down, listen to the cassette over and over and over, and try to learn any line or any phrase or any new idea that I could from that player. And all the albums that were featured back in 1988 in this ad have just gone on to be classics, just really classics of the genre and some of the best guitar playing from that era by far. You have Tony Macalpine with Edge of Insanity, Vinnie Moore with Mind's Eye. I've talked about those extensively on my channel here. He also had around this period the incredible Dr. Mastermind album. And I remember listening to that album like crazy. I just loved Kurt's playing on that album. Kurt James, just an amazing guitar player. And I remember I copped one lick that was kind of Holsworthy that I copped and still do to this day. It went something like this. And what he's doing there is he's hammering fourths like this. So you're going like 12, 17 on the second and first string. Then you just slide your pinky down and pull off the same interval, then slide your first finger down and repeat the lick. So it goes. Joey Tafoya Out of the Sun album is one of my all-time favorite instrumental albums, just chock full of killer melodies with incredible guitar solos from Paul Gilbert and Joey, and some just mind-blowing keyboard solos from Tony. Just so melodic and incredible songwriting. Cacophony, Speed Metal Symphony is another just classic. I remember when I first bought Speed Metal Symphony, I was sick. I had like the flu or a cold or something. I went to the doctor. He prescribed me some codeine cough syrup. And I remember I accidentally took 2 tablespoons instead of 2 teaspoons. And I put on Cacophony Speed Metal Symphony for the first time. And I just laid there like, I didn't even know what was happening, what I was hearing. Just the audacity of them playing all those notes. It was really incredible and mind-blowing for me. I would just rewind the cassette over and over and over and listen to parts of it. Just an incredible album and 2 incredible players. The Racer X Second Heat album, another brilliant album. That's when I started getting into string skipping arpeggios. It also had the Marty Friedman, Jason Becker solo albums on it. The Marty Friedman's Dragon's Kiss and the incredible Perpetual Burn. I remember buying Perpetual Burn, taking it home and hearing the song Air and just could not believe someone could write that, let alone at 18 or 19. It was incredible. And it had the debut of Greg Howe. And Greg was just a huge influence on my playing. You know, being a Van Halen fan, when I heard Greg, it was like Van Halen meets Yngwie. It was mind-blowing. You know, it had all the chops, the flowing 3 notes per string stuff, just killer legato, but it had that Van Halen sensibility and feel, just incredible. And the Racer X Live album is also featured in this ad, just another mind-blowing one. Some of the other titles that were available in this ad are all favorites of mine also. The Steeler album with Yngwie Malmsteen, you have Chastain's Mystery of Illusion, and Ruler of the Wasteland. You have Vicious Rumors with Vinnie Moore, the incredible Vinnie Moore, and the Soldiers of the Night album, just one of my favorite power metal albums from the early 80s, the American power metal stuff. Apocrypha's The Forgotten Scroll, another really underrated, below the radar American power metal album, just chock full of all sorts of neoclassical playing. And it had Tony Friedman on it, who would go on to play in Third Eye Blind. But I really love that album. It's kind of in the Cacophony vein. Tony did a lot of really cool sweeping, and the songs are really kind of progressive metal. Just a great release. So anyway, I thought I'd come on and talk a bit about 1988 and the neoclassical movement. I kind of think this was the peak for the genre, at least the first wave. And every album here is very special to me, and when I look back, I get very nostalgic for that period. Just a wonderful period to be coming up as a guitar player. So let's look at this chord progression. I really like this one. It's E minor to B major to C major, back to B major or B7, back to the E minor to start over. So the first chord is going to be E minor, just at the 7th position of the 5th string. And I kind of lift my second finger off to hit the 2nd and then go back to the 3rd, so I get. Then I go to B major, and then I go to C major, and what I'm playing is, I'm playing C major at the 3rd position of the 5th string, but I'm not playing the power chord part. I'm just playing like an octave with a 3rd on top, and the 1st string open. And then I move that down to B and do the same thing. So the whole thing sounds like this. And then I build some lines on top that sound like this. I'll play like E minor, and I'll do this sequence. And what I'm doing there is at the 12th position, I'll play 15, 12, 14, 15, 14, 12. Then I'll play 14, 12, 14, 15, 14, 12. And just mix between those two. And then over the B major, I'm going to play 14, 11, 12, 14, 12, 11. And then 12, 11, 12, 14, 12, 11. Then I'll play 15, 11, 12, 14, 12, 11. Back to 12, 11, 12, 14, 12, 11. So it sounds like this. And then when I play the C major, I go to the 2nd string and I play 13, 10, 12, 13, 12, 10. Then 12, 10, 12, 13, 12, 10. So the same sequence. And then I play the B major one again over the B major chord. And the cool thing is you don't have to play this ridiculously fast for it to sound nice. The main thing is to get the rhythm going, to really get those triplets swinging. That's really the most important thing. And then you can kind of hear the notes come out. Sometimes if you just play stuff too fast, you don't really hear the harmonic quality of it. But in a moderate tempo like this, it's kind of nice. It brings out a nice sound. And the key is to get that rhythm going, get those triplets swinging. So these are all variations of the Yngwie lick and very reminiscent of Joe Stump's playing also. If you haven't checked Joe out, I really recommend checking out his playing. He does a lot of really cool sequential licks like this. That's a fun one to play, and it's not super complex fingering wise. It's a great one to build up your chops and get those swinging triplets happening. And it sounds cool, I think, so I thought it'd be fun to come on and share this with you all. I'm looking forward to taking some other chord progressions and building some sequences and arpeggios on top soon. So if you like this, look for that. I'll be posting some of that soon. Thanks a lot for joining me today. I had a lot of fun showing you some of these sequences. To those of you that have liked and subscribed, thank you so much. And until next time, have fun picking.